Well, it's Sunday today, and I want to talk about how other people are approaching the five factors, which we always talk about. So, first, on 1/15/2025, we posted a video about China and their 10-year plan called China 2025, which is about them spending the last 10 years to become a value-added high-end manufacturer in the world. And here's the article that's been attached to that video. It's very interesting. I mean, when you go through it, there's just no way you can't say that they have been very, very successful. So, of course, we seem to be a little bit more hit and miss. The Europeans are definitely under attack. People, I mean, the Russian minister comment about Europe yesterday. I don't know what the Europeans are going to do, but they got to get their act together. But they did do things. The Germans and the French got their economists and their business people together and they said, hey, can you come up with a paper for us? And so yesterday, the Europeans published their 5-point guidelines to how Europe can start competing in the new world. Now, of course, you can stop and read this if you want. I'll attach this to this video, and under the other video, I'll attach the CSIS article on what the China 2025. So they're sitting here and they talk about what's going on with China and how it's affecting the Europeans. So imagine the first part of this paper is, okay, where are we today and what do we want to use as our guidelines going forward, okay? Now, the top half of this article is all the stuff we know is going on. Chinese strength in batteries, EVs, green tech, machinery, and they sit here and they go through and they say, hey, listen, they are not successful because of subsidies, okay, first. Then the second thing is they point out that China spends around 2% of its GDP, it's in the second part here, on industrial policy, 5 times more than the Europeans and 6 times more than the US. So when you look at AI in China and what's going on, the reason that people believe that China is actually way ahead of America is they have built this huge, basically countrywide infrastructure that all these companies can build into. I mean, believe it or not, they have over 100 EV car companies in China, over 100, and they're all competing. It cutthroat competition, all right? Now, in this first paragraph, they say in 2020, China said, hey, no more lending in the property, you have to lend into manufacturing. And they believe that this has made a huge difference over the last 5 years in China's move to the top of manufacturing world. And in the second paragraph here, you can see where they have more than 100 different EV companies in China that are competing hard. And so thereby competing against us, not hard at all. And they point out in the bottom right here that the German and French economies are taking a double hit. Not only is China coming at them with cheap product, good product, inexpensive product, I should say, but they're not buying the European stuff anymore. This is really hurting them. So here in the second paragraph, they're saying that their exports are adding close to 2 percentage points to their GDP growth. And this last paragraph is that what they're saying here is that given the exports that they have, that we should have seen around a 30% increase in the renminbi. We have not seen that. And they're saying that's being driven because they're exporting, they're bringing in all these US dollars, and they've accumulated over $300 billion just in the last year in US assets, i.e. treasuries. They go on in the first paragraph here. It says China does not rely on unfair state aid or industrial policies, but it's intrinsic to the Chinese development model. It's called non-market practices and policies are part of the overall mix, but it's not there to support a company. It's there to support an industry that China believes is important to the country. Okay? Kind of the way we believe about REM today. All right? So the first thing they say is, listen, we have to maintain an openness in our economy and not naively hand over what we believe are important to us, okay? Defense technology, autonomous systems, space industries, including the industrial supply chains of batteries and electronics, okay? So that's first. They say, so one, we just don't cut everybody off. Two, they also believe that if it's not totally important, not one of these strategic industries, then we should allow the Chinese to send us the stuff. We get it cheaper. We get the solar, we get the EVs, we get the batteries at a cheaper level, which helps our people. Okay. Now, here in the top, they say that we have to improve the business environment, access to financing in an integrated capital market. Did everyone remember last year, it must be a year ago, that we did the video on the Italian bank trying to take over the German bank? We said we're going to watch this to see if the Europeans are actually serious about coming together so they can compete. And the first thing that should come together, because of the difficulty, we're recognizing the difficulty is, can we do our capital markets? Can all our banks come together and so forth and so on? And that was a year ago. And guess what? They're still talking about it today. So at this time, I would say they're not that serious. And in the second paragraph here, they say, look, we should be very, very careful about tariffs, all right? While import barriers may help European companies to defend their market share at the home market, it would weaken their ability to export to China or third country markets. Overall, Europe should be very cautious in protecting its industry by tariff barriers. Obviously, not going down the road that the United States is going down. Number 4, they say, listen, we should really support a lot of dual use industries, right? So you make advanced batteries, you make them for cars, you make them for drones, military use, military grade steel, advanced materials, composites. All these things are important and they're dual use. And they're saying that the Europeans should fund these. Sound familiar? Fund them, okay? And of course, number 5 here, I'm just guessing, I have no idea, but what do you think? Number 5 did not exist in this report a month or 2 months ago. And it's that we need to get control of rare earth minerals, period. End of story. So here's the 5 things that the Europeans think they should be doing. In the report, they talk about this TFP measurement, which is total factor productivity. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is remember the video that we recorded on the isms. And we said all the isms are all different: communism, socialism, capitalism, national social, all this stuff. But they deal with 3 things. They deal with labor, capital, and means of production. Okay? And so this is what TFP actually measures, right? And you can see here, TFP measures how efficiently an economy uses labor and capital, okay, and how it intersects with technology, i.e. the means of production. So I'm only pointing this out in that as we move forward in this world, and you see that China did their China 2025, we're doing, I don't know, we're not really coordinated yet. And Europe has not actually really started, but here is the basis of their going forward. And so we have said that we believe there'll be multiple isms that are coming out around the world as people reinvent their business models, their country models to fit the new world that's coming at us right now. Right? So TFP, guess who's number 1? Yes, the United States. China's number 2. Guess who's last? You got it, Europeans. So like and follow, and tell me what you think in the comments.